Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode. In this video, I just want to go over the topic of why is ISP competition so limited. In the net neutrality debate, one of the big fears that people seem to have is that without net neutrality, their local internet service provider might start doing things that they don't like, and they're very worried that they won't be able to switch ISPs because in some places you may only have one or two. So why is ISP competition so limited in places, and what can be done about it? The truth of the matter, and probably the biggest problem that I have found, is that local governments and public utilities impose significant barriers to entry for any new ISP hoping to add competition in the marketplace. So essentially, laying down wires is the easy part, but the hard part is getting permission from local authorities to do so. So it's not even a national issue, it's actually at the local level, it appears. So one thing a new potential ISP must do is negotiate with local governments for right-of-way. And so what right-of-way is being able to lay your wires either above or below public and private ground. Another significant factor is that you have to deal with local public utilities, and they often attach what is called pole attachment contracts for use of their telephone poles or their ducts or their conduits. Now the problem is that both the local governments and the public utilities typically charge a potential ISP far more than what they actually cost. And in fact, the whole process of getting these right-of-way and pole attachment contracts can be so convoluted that it can literally double the cost of network construction. And the local governments always have the final say in what hoops any potential ISP must jump through. And this drastically reduces the number of ISPs who might enter any given market. And of course, when you have this, I would almost call it crony capitalism, any ISP who's already in the market wants to be the only game in town. So they often offer kickbacks to local governments and to utilities in the form of donating equipment or offering free broadband to government buildings, etc., in exchange for making it difficult for a new ISP to enter the market. Now, a lot of people have heard of Google Fiber, and when it was initially announced, they had a very aggressive plan for ruling out Google Fiber and providing real competition. And in fact, both Kansas City and Austin, their local governments gave Google the right of way access for little or no cost, and as a result, both of these cities now have Google Fiber. And the reason why this happened, or at least part of it, aside from perhaps having local governments that are a little more forward thinking, is that the states of Kansas, Missouri, and Texas had streamlined their video franchising laws, allowing one license for the entire state. So again, in these states, you have to do things piecemeal, locality by locality. Once you have a license, it applies for the entire state, and that makes it much easier for Google to move forward. And I found this quote here from a Google vice president, and he says, "It's clear that investment flows into areas that are less affected by regulation than areas that are dominated by it." And what this kind of shows you that this is even tough for a company as large and as powerful as Google. So you can imagine how hard it is for a small or a medium-sized company to try and set up an ISP and offer competition to whoever happens to be incumbent in that area. So the bottom line here, I think, is that broadband competition can work if local governments get it out of the way and allow it. In Austin, for example, AT&T promised to follow Google's lead if they got the same terms that Google did as far as laying down new fiber and new cables. So right-of-way fees should only cover legitimate costs, like digging up a street. So if you're laying down fiber and you dig up a street, obviously that's going to be a cost that should be borne by the ISP, but by the potential ISP who's laying down the fiber or the cable. But it shouldn't be a way to enrich a local government by doubling the costs or tripling the costs. So if you want more ISPs, at least it's the bottom line, a good start is by making them not so hard to build. And that again is the area of local governments and local public utilities. The game of kickbacks only benefits incumbent providers and local politicians. And true competition drives prices down, improves service, and forces everyone to keep innovating, which is what I think we all want. So, but what do you think? Does this make sense to you? 'Cause from what I've read, and I've listed the sources below, one of the big barriers to entry is just local governments and how they behave. At any rate, this is the information that I found as to why ISP competition can be so limited. I'll be interested in hearing your thoughts on this if you will want to leave a comment. If you like the video, please like it and subscribe. And really, that's it for now. So until next time.